Our village was ransacked by the squares not long ago. Most have made it out alive, but we can't really go back anymore. Oh. Squares are bad news, man. Try circles instead. That's everything. Demon sheep need ice cream too. That is true. Demon sheep do deserve ice cream. If it ain't Rousey, it's gonna be named Azrael. It's just a goat. Or, it's not even a goat, it's a sheep. Sometimes a sheep is just a sheep, you know? No, I have to say goodbye to Calamus. And Alula. I don't know if they have any different dialogue. There's probably a goodbye written for when we actually talk to Cedric, but I have to try. We're just about done here. So let us know when you want to go back to the ruins. Okay. We're not going back to the ruins, I'm afraid. Did you find any... What were you looking for again? Gears? Gears! Did you find any of those? No, but I found this music box, though. Ooh. We're not going back to the ruins. Wait, actually, if we go back to the ruins, will they... No. We're not going back to the ruins. We're flying. Let's get this plane up and running. It's a sheep in goat's clothing. Same difference. It's a sheep. Sorry, I forgot. We have those. Oh, do I need to, like... We found a battery. Oh, nice. I honestly wasn't expecting it. It's from the generator on one of the islands. The research station? Yeah. There's probably all the robots there. I felt bad for taking it. We can always just give it back later, if we survive. Alright. We still need a few gears to put this engine back together. Please do what you must to find some. Again, that do what you must line. We found a music box. It should have gears in it, right? I assume so, but... It's like one of the ones that my father made. Your dad makes music boxes too? My dad makes a lot of things. Where'd you get this from, by the way? A trader from the village gave it to me. I see. I remember father saying that he used to trade with some of the people here. He did always love traveling this world, despite, well... sorry, I started rambling. The gears in there are compatible with the engine, although it pains me to have to take it apart. Oh, I'm sorry. It's fine. Looks like the flying machine has a chance after all. I just have to assemble the pieces now, but it might take a while. Do you mind keeping me company? No, I don't mind at all. I actually do really like the storytelling in this. Connor and Chris's favorite ice cream is probably chocolate. Fair enough. Alright, Mom, on the book. Grandpa is in a weird phase. He's asking to borrow things he has given us, and everyone's response is, "Oh, Grandpa." And as far as Turkey is talking about how his grandfather has died a while ago. So like, wait, I finally understood what Mom was saying earlier with that. She's talking like Grandpa is lending away stuff, and then he's like asking for, like, he's giving away stuff, and then he's asking it back for a little bit. How's it going? Slow. The connectors in the battery were not designed for this type of engine, so I had to shift around some of these ports, and there's this bolt that keeps getting stuck, and... Don't worry, I'm making decent progress. We should be able to make it to the city by tonight. If you say so. Ellipses. What will happen once we get there? We need to bring Proto back first, and then we need to go find one more person. You may have already met her, actually. Grandpa gave me jelly beans. Huh. Do you remember her from the last time you were in this world? What does she look like? It's gonna sound strange, but she is a fox. Oh. I do remember talking to a fox at one point. You've met Rue? Memories are still really blurry, though. Yeah, Rue, she kind of just avoided us. I see. Sorry. It's just hard, you know? Proto told me to think of this world like a dream. But then I got so caught up with, and I just kinda forget. I forget that everything here is supposed to be not real. Honestly, so do I sometimes. I'm not literally, I'm not like, I don't have an issue where I'm like, dissociating from reality. But like, isn't that but like, I think I think what Nico is expressing here also has something to do with how we interact with video games. The whole point is getting us to suspend our disbelief, to make us forget that it's not real. And then I remember. And then this game brings it up to you. They don't want you to keep this suspension of belief entirely. I saw on Twitter, and the first thing I saw was Kirby giving me a middle finger. Kirby hates me. And why might that be, Smart as Good Turkey? Is it perhaps because you did not list Kirby and the Forgotten Land as one of the things? Like, you listed Breath of the Wild and not Kirby and the Forgotten Land? Maybe that's why Kirby hates you. This is a PSA. Play Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's a channel requirement. And then I just get really sad. Oh yeah, this is an emotional moment too. I know this is for me to go home, but knowing that none of it mattered in the first place? Am I just trapped here for no reason? Proto also told me to not ask anyone in the world about this, saying how they don't understand. But what about him? How did he know? How do you know? Aren't you guys all supposed to be code? Well, I'm not sure what to even believe anymore. I wish Rue was here. She's so much better at explaining this sort of thing. I'm doing a terrible job of it. I bet Proto was even less tactful, wasn't he? I'm afraid I must risk sounding callous, but please, you need not concern yourself with how real everything is for now. The plan is already in motion. We cannot allow for distractions. Father is putting everything into this one last run of the world. Father is the author Clover person. He insists on calling Francisco Saint Francis. Or Francis. Yeah, I do that. Oh, that's my grandfather. Francisco is our dog, by the way. Smosh Katuki talking about how he has no emotional connection to Kirby games. And I just find that a deeply sad reality to live in. How do you bear life and all of its troubles without Kirby games? It's just not right. It's just the last chance for him to fix everything. Like, this is such an interesting dichotomy. Like, I'll switch over to the chat to read off something. It's a completely different mood because I switch entirely into chat entering mode, and then I switch back to the emotional moment. I want to have connections to Kirby. When Kirby does that, it makes me not wanna. Look, away from all the joking, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is a great game. I think all the Kirby games are good, but, you know, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is amazing, and you should play it. Sure, I don't know. I'm gonna try and play the game. This is an emotional moment. The last chance for him to fix everything. Your father, is involved in the World Machine? You could say that. The acceleration of square particle anomalies was not accounted for at all, though. The patch was only built to accommodate the normal rate they appear, but they're accumulating at frightening speeds now. I wonder, is that what the entity is? The patch? Proto even lost his body. Thankfully, I gave you the disc just in time. So what happened to him anyway? What happens to anyone who gets caught in the swears? I might buy it unless Deltarune or Zelda come out tomorrow. You should, Sparkstory. Or in the next few months. Look, Zelda's already been delayed, and we all know Deltarune's not going to come out for 5 billion years. So just buy Kirby. Do it. Take a leap of faith. Trust me, that is actually, Kirby and the Forgotten Land is actually a brilliant Kirby game. I do recommend it. Heavily. I want to know what's bad. I gotta stop looking. Alright, I'm not looking at the chat until I'm done with the scene. Like, new rule. Well, you know how the simulation works, right? How everything is code? Specifically, everything is generated from pre-existing code. The squares can cause damage to that code. Most of the time, irreversible damage. Father has lost some friends in previous iterations of the simulation. It took him forever to develop the current, much more stable version. Oh, are they talking about this is the Steam version? And the other version is the not Steam version? Huh. You're making it sound like your dad built the simulation himself. Wait, did he? Yeah. But how? If everyone in this world is code, how can he build himself? That's, not really what happened. I love the character portraits in this game, by the way. Nico's expressions are just on point. So what happened? Like I said, you shouldn't concern yourself with ellipses. Like, just that expression, that, like, somewhat tired, somewhat uncomfortable expression. It's so good. Just keep staring. Alright. Did Prototype ever tell you about the old world? He did say something about being built to greet the Messiah of the old world. I was, too caught up with the other stuff at the time to think about it. Oh, is that interesting? I wonder, do you meet Prototype in the original one-shot? You know of it at least, then. Alright, here we go. My father, myself, the other two. None of us are part of the simulation itself. Our home world, the real world, was actually destroyed a long time ago. Ellipses. In the years leading up to the calamity, scientists from all over the world tried to stop it, but the outlook was bleak. Climate change. A vague prophecy about a messiah from another world became everyone's last bastion of hope. They probably should have stopped burning fossil fuels. Prophet bot, or prototype, was built to predict the future by the specifics of this messiah. This is on their actual world. But as his prediction turned out, this messiah would not have been able to arrive to our world in time. In fact, the messiah would not even have been born before our world ended. That's kind of a bad prophecy. Disheartened, most people abandoned their research and resolved to peacefully live out their final years. But some people did the opposite. Even though saving the world was impossible, they didn't want our existence to be in vain. And that's where my father came in. With the last of his resources, he built his most ambitious progress yet, the World Machine, a large, detailed facsimile of the old world, generated from a pool of memories collected from everyone he knew. Oh. After a heavy amount of authentication and an added narrative, my father was able to convert the entire structure into code. How did that code escape the old world? I have no idea. What I do know is there's no equipment back home that was powerful enough to run the code independently. So aside from the standard hardware, it also needed to borrow the mental processing abilities of a living person. Like the Matrix was going to be about, before the producer said that was too complicated and made it about body heat. Mental processes abilities of a living person. Father used himself for that during the initial testing phases. Like I said, it took many iterations for him to make the experience stable enough. But as you can see, even that's breaking down. Father caught on to the issue in the last minute, but did not have enough time to fix it. After the world ended, the code kind of just ended up floating in the void indefinitely, waiting for a willing operator to install it onto their hardware. Flightship? Yeah. The operator, Flightship, would then generate the universe using the code, becoming God in the process. Technically. So, Flightship was the living person you need to borrow? No, I'm pretty sure that's you, Nico. No, that would be you. But why me? Random chance. I should have asked that question a long time ago, shouldn't I? I do not know. We really need to get going. Plane's fixed. It's fixed. We can live in the next 5 minutes if you are ready. Alright. I understand if you're upset, but please, try to understand. My father is doing this to help all of us. And that includes you, Nico. The fact that you can't even go back home, I'm sure it upsets him greatly. Yeah, see, I know. We were talking about it in the Clover. The world means a lot to him, you know. It means a lot to me, too. Now. So, how does flying work? We don't know. There's some weird things about our theory about how flying works, and so the point is, look it up. There's like there's two different models we have for how planes work, but like we're not actually like the old model you've heard about lift and drag is slightly wrong. Like I don't know a lot about this, but we kind of don't know exactly how the flying works. Like we know we kind of don't exactly know how flying works. Alright, I'm looking at the chat. Smart Strokey can't afford Kirby in the Forgotten Land, who's making fun of the plotline. And Mom is going to bed. It's because they have to actually go to the race. Good night, Mom. Good night, Mother. It was nice to have you, Mom. As always. Wait, don't these machines already exist in your world? Well, in our world, we don't know quite how they work. So that's a fun tidbit of knowledge. Next time you get in a plane, you're starting to know what to expect. Not really. I've only heard about them. They're usually a lot bigger than this one anyway. Well, a word of precaution. Before we take to the air, please try not to panic. It takes a few minutes of getting used to, but it's not that bad once you're in the air. I'll try. I should probably tell Calamus and Alua where I'm going. You mean those two running over here now? Nico! Bye, Mom. Bad news. The boat is gone. What? It's the squares. Looks like they're headed in this direction. That's fast. Calamus, right? Yeah? How bad is it? Doesn't seem to be of immediate danger. Then it is a priority that I take you to the city first, Nico. But what about them? I can make a detour later and drop you guys off at the city too, if you want. The city is better equipped to handle the swears. You'll be safer there. I ended up doing a voice for the guy anyway. I've just realized I'm doing a voice for the guy anyway. It just seems right. You're taking us to the city? If you wish. Oh, yeah! Alright. I'll be back here in an hour. So please wait for me until then. You guys sure you'll be fine here? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The squares are still moving pretty slowly for now. Alright then. Guess we'll run into each other again soon. I'm ready to go. Alright. We're flying high. Flying in a plane. Oh, Nico looks so excited to be in the plane. Oh, I love this.